Very good evening to everyone present in this interaction session. As you all know, friends, this is the third and the last session for this particular course. So I would urge you to utilize this session to interact with us, ask any queries or any clarifications. If there are some interesting questions that you still have not been able to get the clarification, you can post them here. Feel free to ask any query or doubt that you have. There is a chat window for you on YouTube channel. In that chat window, in the live session chat window, you can type your questions. I have devoted 1 hour for this session, so make the most use of it. So it's over to you. I do have a presentation where I would like to share with you some interesting information, mainly about the upcoming examination. We'd like to give you an overview of the sequence in the examination, types of questions, the evaluation scheme for the examination. And then we also have some more information for you. I noticed that the teaching assistant, Mr. Namanuddin, is already online. Very good evening to Naman. Yeah, so let me start off with today's presentation. The key agenda points for today's interaction are as follows. All of you are curious to know about certain information. The first and the foremost is the examination date. Then I will elaborate upon the pattern of the question paper that you will encounter. We will then very briefly open up the floor for any feedback or suggestions or any complaints that you may have regarding the teaching assistants. After that, I would like to take this opportunity to share with you some information regarding two very interesting upcoming events that are being organized primarily for students like you. These events are going to be organized in IIT Bombay, so it will give you a chance to meet us, our team, in person and to interact with us. And finally, in the end, I'm going to acknowledge the role and contribution of some of my team members in this particular course. So starting with the first and the foremost, the examination date. So I would request all of you to mark your calendars for the 30th of April, which is a Sunday, and the last day of this month. On that day, in your city or in a city near you, you will be able to go and appear for the examination of this particular course. So please mark your calendars for 30th April 2023. The question paper consists of 3 parts, and I'm going to elaborate each of these parts now very briefly to you. The first part is part A, which has 20 marks out of 100. This one is the easiest part of the question paper. It has multiple choice questions in which, out of the various choices, generally there are 4 choices, only 1 choice is correct, remaining choices are incorrect. So you just have to pick up the correct choice. There are going to be 20 questions, and each of them is going to be of 1 mark. After that, there will be part B. This part earlier used to be a crossword. Those of you who have appeared in my previous courses would have seen that we normally give a crossword. But then there were many complaints which we received, especially we were told that NPTEL is unable to supply you a printed copy of the question paper or the crossword sheet. And without that, it is very difficult to solve a crossword. Therefore, we have replaced that pattern with fill in the blanks pattern. So in part B of this examination, you will encounter 25 questions, which will have 0.8 marks each, and you will get 20 marks if you score all of them correctly. 0.8 marks for each correct answer. Here, I would like you to keep in mind that you have to be very careful in answering this, because we are going to give you a hint as to how many letters are there in the correct answer. So there will be at the end of the question a square bracket with number of letters. So for example, if the answer to the question is pattern, P-A-T-T-E-R-N, we will have a bracket with number 7 after the question. So you know that the answer to this question is having 7 letters. Keep that in mind when you answer the fill in the blanks, because in our past experience, we have seen that people don't pay attention to the number of letters. They just write whatever comes to their mind. And obviously, they do not take advantage of the hint that we have given regarding the size of the answer. That is part B. Part A was 20 questions. Part B is also 20 marks, I'm sorry. And then we have part C, which is the most difficult part, because in this we have 2 types of questions. There is multiple select questions, 15 of them. Each of them has 2 marks, and in this more than one answer may be correct. So you have to select all the correct choices. Perhaps all choices are correct. Perhaps 3 out of 4 are correct. Maybe 2 are correct. And in some cases, although it is MSQ, only 1 may be correct. So you have to be very careful and you have to be very confident. So there are 15 such questions. Each of them carries 2 marks each. So that is 30 questions. And then the last section is numerical questions, numerical answer type questions. There will be 15 such questions, each carrying 2 marks. Some of them will have part A and part B. Some of them may also have smaller parts, but the total number of marks for each full question is 2. So therefore, you have 30 plus 30, 60 marks. So 60 marks for part C, 20 for part B, 20 for part A. This is the final complete list of 100 marks. There are 75 questions, and you are expected to be there for 3 hours in the examination center. So you can yourself figure out roughly how much time is to be given. Broadly speaking, if you are there for 3 hours, 180 minutes, and the marks are 100, you can automatically make out that approximately 1.8 to 1.5 minutes is to be spent maximum per question. So this way, you will get the full 100 marks. If you have any queries or any doubts, of course, you can ask them in the live session. And whenever I get an opportunity, I'm going to reply. At this point of time, I want to take any feedback or suggestions, or even if you have any complaints. If you have any complaint regarding the instructor, that is me, or if you have some complaint regarding the teaching assistants or anything else, this is the right time for you to speak out. We are open for your feedback, and we will try to sort out the matter as far as possible. In the meantime, I noticed that there are some queries which are there, or some questions which are there on the chat, and I'll take them one by one. Avilash has a question, not a question, he has a comment. He says that currently for their final year project, we are working on an airship to measure air pollutants. That's a very ambitious and challenging project. Can you tell how to do nozzle where we put helium into the airship? This is a very interesting question, Avilash. And design of a nozzle to put in helium or any other LTA gas in the envelope is not a very trivial solution. So the method that we normally follow is to make a small pipe out of the same material which is used to make the envelope. and then you make a small cut in the envelope, attach the pipe to the location where you have made the circular cut, and use that to fill in the gas. Once you fill the gas, this pipe can be rolled and then it can be stuck with the tape or an adhesive to the envelope itself. It's difficult for me to show it to you right now, but we have a YouTube channel, and I will request Nauman to please type the address of the YouTube channel of LTS Systems Laboratory. In that YouTube channel, we keep on uploading videos of our activities. In one of the videos related to the, there's a video regarding the design of indoor remotely controlled airship. In the last of those videos, we have actually recorded a small demonstration of how to make a nozzle to fill in the gas. So Nauman, if you are able to do it, please try to locate that video and give the link to that in the group. Abhilash also has another follow-up question. He are using a PVC sheet with 220 grams per square meter GSM. We sealed it using heat sealing. What is the expected helium leakage of PVC sheets? So the leakage of helium from PVC sheets is a function of its thickness and if there is any coating on top or on the bottom of the sheet. If you take a plain PVC sheet, our experience is we had tested a sheet of approximately the same GSM that you are using, and we found that it was leading to a leak of 3.75 liters per square meter per day. Okay, so I cannot say that this is the, this is the exact value, but I'm just saying that one of the PVC sheets that we had tested a few years ago of almost the same GSM, 220 GSM, its leakage rate was 3.75 liters per square meter per day. So for want of any information, you should use that value in your estimate. As you will notice, it's a very small value, which is quite good because it will not cause any problem with the leakage of gas. Abhilash, on our YouTube channel on LTS System Laboratory, you will find lots of videos on design of indoor remotely controlled airship. Although those are for indoor airships, the design principles and the procedures are fairly similar. You could use them for your own work. Abhilash, it will be nice if you can tell me which college you are from so that we might be able to reach out to you separately. You are welcome to send an email to me also, and I will be happy to respond to your email with some specific information. But please note that I'm not available from this Sunday, which is 16th of April, till the night of 27th April. If you are asking for any query before I go, I might be able to answer immediately. But if you ask a query after 16th April, I will be able to respond to you only by 28th of April. Okay, so you are from Dayanand Sadar College of Engineering, Bangalore. Great. Abhilash, let me also ask you, just recently we had sent a communication to your college professors about an event that we are planning. I am not sure whether you have received that link or do you have any idea about that activity. There is an event about which I will talk in the next few slides. And we will urge you, if you want to know about how to make nozzles for LTS systems, you can actually visit our laboratory and have a look at how we do it. Okay. So the floor is open for any feedback that you would like to have. We are open for ideas to improve the course. We are open for advice or suggestions about the course and the contents or the way it is taught or conducted. Anything that you would like to communicate to us based on your experience of doing this course, you are welcome to do that. In the meantime, I will go ahead and I'll try to give you some idea about two events which are going to happen. This is the first of the two events, ETAE, which stands for Emerging Technologies in Aerospace Engineering. So this particular event is being held in IIT Bombay in association with DRDO. This particular event is essentially an outreach program for the students of aerospace engineering from all over the country. The DRDO wants students to be aware about the various new technologies which are emerging in this field and the ones which the DRDO and its various laboratories, plus the research associations and institutes like IIT Bombay are pursuing. So we have arranged for 12 talks, each of approximately half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour for you. In these 12 talks, various topics will be covered, and I will show you some glimpse of the areas in the next slide. Apart from that, there is going to be a very interesting aviation quiz competition. That competition will be in two parts. On the first day, that is 3rd of May, we are planning to conduct the quiz for all the participants individually. Based on the performance in that written test or written quiz, we are going to shortlist some students. Then we are going to randomly make them into teams. On the second day, these teams will be subjected to a quiz conducted in the typical fashion that you see, where there are teams and questions are asked to each team and the questions are passed. Okay, so there is also a plan to conduct a panel discussion on the first evening on any topic or some topic relevant to aerospace engineering today. And plus, if time permits, we also will like to showcase some of the research activities being carried out by faculty and students in IIT Bombay. So this particular event, we are trying to get accommodation in IIT Bombay hostels for both male as well as female outstation students. Accommodation right now is not guaranteed. It is subject to availability. It is not in our hands. But we are very hopeful that the institute will give some shared accommodation. So the topics to be covered include sustainable aviation, weaponized UAVs, composite materials, military satellites, guided missiles, technical textiles which are used essentially for inflatable wings and ladder-than-air systems. We are expecting a senior scientist from ISRO to talk about reusable launch vehicles. And since we are the epicenter of aircraft operations and maintenance in the country, we also would like to have an expert to talk about emerging technologies in aircraft maintenance. As you can see, this is a gathering of leaders and experts in aerospace technology. And the aim is to discuss the way forward in aerospace engineering. We encourage students from all over the country to physically travel to IIT Bombay and attend this program. We encourage students to arrive on 3rd morning and leave on 5th morning, because on 2nd of May, there is another event in IIT Bombay, that is our convocation. And therefore, it may be difficult, I'm not sure, it may be difficult for us to get accommodation for outstation people on 2nd of May. But I'm hopeful that once that event is over, people will go, and on 3rd and 4th of May, you might be able to get accommodation. So if you are traveling from outstation, I would sincerely request you to make plans to arrive early morning of 3rd of May and plan to leave in the morning of 5th of May. So this is the first competition. The second event, some more information about this particular event is as given here. So there is going to be a registration fee for this event, and that registration fee has to be paid using a link on our website. So on the bottom right of this slide, you will see there is a website. Those of you who are interested can even take a snapshot of this particular screen, or you might be able to see this video once again after the event is over, because it normally appears on YouTube. So short url.at/by capital HUZ is our website short URL. We have a dedicated email for this particular event, which is etae2023@aero.iitb.ac.in. In fact, if you want to know about the event website, you just go to my department webpage, which is www.aero.iitb.ac.in, and you can search for events on the first page. The third link from the top, I think, third or fourth link on the top is the link for the ETAE conference. Once you look to the website, you have to go to the website, you have to make the payment, download the proof of payment, and then there is a Google form which you fill up to indicate two things. One is you have to upload the payment proof so that we know that you have paid the registration fees. Then you have to also indicate whether you need accommodation or not. And also, since we are going to give you each person a t-shirt, we would like to know from you if you can tell us about the size of the t-shirt. It may be noted that by around 20th April, we are going to finalize the order for t-shirts to the supplier. So if you want to get a t-shirt matching your size, then please register before 20th April to take advantage of not only the early bird rate, but also the possibility of getting a t-shirt which is matching with your size. If you register after 20th April, we cannot guarantee to you that you will get a t-shirt fitting your size. You may get one size shorter or one size larger, and that may not go very well with you. We normally do not recommend walk-in registrations. That's why we have kept a very steep registration fee for walk-in registrations. For this amount of 800 or 1000 rupees, we are going to provide you refreshments and a t-shirt. For accommodation, you have to pay extra of rupees 300 per person per day. You will be given shared accommodation by IIT Bombay hostels or in IIT Bombay hostels as per the IIT Bombay norms. On your behalf, we have made a request to our hostel coordination unit. We are not responsible, nor we have any information regarding accommodation. So please don't contact us about accommodation. Just indicate your preference and we will pass on the information to them, and then we will revert back to you if rooms are allotted. As you can see in the schedule, we start from morning 9 to 9:30, and we have 4 sessions. Each session will have 3 talks. One will be a keynote speech, and 2 will be invited talks. And then, as I mentioned, aviation quiz and panel discussion. Once again, if there are any questions regarding this event, you have been informed, and you can use the live session to inform us. So please mark your calendars for 3rd and 4th of May, Wednesday and Thursday, to attend the event. The second event about which I wanted to speak to you is directly related to LTA systems. And that is, in any LTA systems, such as the one shown in the figure, if you lose control of the system for any reason, you must have some device which automatically detects that you have lost control, and it deflates or activates a device such that the envelope can be deflated and the LTA system can be brought down. So we have already announced this competition for emergency rapid deflation device for aerostats and airships. And this has already been announced many months ago. There have already been 2 rounds. Now, there is no scope for taking part in the competition, but you have the ability to witness the competition. On 20th and 21st of May, you can come to IIT Bombay. On 20th morning, after the students arrive and fill up their envelope with air and leave it for leakage testing, we will conduct some session on LTA system for everybody. And then on 21st, after confirming that there are no leaks in the envelope, the teams which bring up with or come up with a leak-proof envelope they are going to be given the go-ahead to demonstrate their device. The device is supposed to automatically operate in case there is a persistent loss of tension in the tether of an aerostat, or also there has to be a requirement for remotely operating it, so that in case we have an airship or an aerostat which is vagabond, going away, going out of control, we should be able to remotely operate this device and deflate. So as I mentioned, you cannot take part in the competition now, but you can definitely participate in the competition in a way that you can witness the competition, look at what other teams have done, work with them, discuss with them, and learn a lot, which can be implemented by you in your own. And there will be a possibility of visiting our LTE systems lab also as part of this particular competition. Okay, so this one, please mark your calendar. This event is happening on Saturday and Sunday, 20th and 21st of May, 2023. So friends, you have these two interesting events right in front of you. One in the first week of May, and second in the third Saturday and the third Sunday of May. We will now open the floor for any queries that you may have, both about the course or about these events which I mentioned just now. And I would like to give you my best wishes and good luck. I would like to wish you good luck for your examinations, which are on 30th of April, as I mentioned. Okay, so please use the discussion forum to clarify all your doubts and your issues, because that is why this forum has been made. The aim of the forum is to basically give you an option. So please use the discussion forum actively. Okay. So now we will open up the floor for any questions or any queries before we close down for today. So I am going to stop speaking now, and I'm going to now respond to any queries that you may ask or any comments that you may make. I'd like to know how many teams, how many people have already heard about this particular event, ETAE and ERDD, and how many of you have already registered so far? Can I have a number from the live session on YouTube? Just curious to know. How many of you had heard about this event ETAE, and how many had heard about the competition ERDD also? Please answer on the live session. The forum is open for any comments or any discussion that you may have like to do. So first of all, Nauman, can you please confirm that everything is fine and then my voice is audible, because I'm not sure. There is no feedback system available here. So you may type and let me know that I'm perfectly audible and the screens are fully visible. Okay, Nauman has said yes. What I'm reminded now is the situation that the space scientists feel when they send a space probe up in the, in the space, and they give a command, and they have to wait for some time before the command can be reached and be activated. So this is the kind of feeling I'm getting. I'm getting a response to my comments after about a minute and a half. This is what it takes for the YouTube channel to webcast what I'm saying for people to respond. So Nanju Swami says that he has not heard it earlier. Okay. But Nanju Swami, now that you know about this competition on 20th and 21st of May, and also about this event ETAE on 3rd or 4th of May, what is your view? Would you like to attend this event? And what is it that is you find very attractive and interesting? I forgot to mention, by the way, that all people who participate in the event are going to get a certificate of participation from IIT Bombay. It will be an e-certificate, but it will certify that you were present and took part in this particular event. We actually need people as volunteers from all over the country. Okay, the floor is open. I'm just waiting for people to respond. So Nanju Swami, can you respond? You have heard about it for the first time, but what do you feel about this particular event? Abhilash has a very interesting question. Can you explain how to attach fins to the envelope? Any other solutions other than Velcros? One very standard procedure, Abhilash, to attach the fins on the envelope is to make what is called as inflatable fins. That means these fins are actually embedded on the envelope itself. And as you fill the air or gas, air for testing and gas for deployment, that air or gas first goes into the fins because there is a dedicated place on the back to fill these fins. And once you fill it up, you make it tight, you just close the entry, and that allows you to retain the gas under pressure inside the bag. So one way of attaching the envelope is to make it integral with the envelope, but this is a difficult method. And we have seen that sometimes the envelope does not get properly inflated in those locations. So then the control surface, the stabilizing surface starts getting sagging on the bottom. The other way of attaching the fins to the envelope is a very interesting approach followed by an agency or a company called as Ross Aero Systems, the so-called shark fins. Now, it's difficult for me to describe to you here. I would suggest that you go online and search for Ross Aero Systems and look for a satellite called as a Lynx satellite, Lynkx. And you'll get an idea about that. In case you have difficulty, you can send an email to us and we will try to respond to you. So Nanju Swami says that the event on 3rd and 4th is interesting. So Nanju Swami, welcome. If you are interested and if you are free, it will be good to see you in IIT Bombay with us. If you happen to come, please definitely remember to identify yourself to me. I'll be happy to meet people like you who are interested in running our events. Anybody else would like to comment or ask any query? You can use this session to ask any question that you may have about aerospace engineering. Not necessarily limited only to the course, because we have already discussed a lot about the course. Nauman has also mentioned that if you further need any information regarding these events, you may write to us in the discussion forum. Nauman, I'm going to share with you, you already have actually the brochure of both the events. You might, if possible, be able to share them on the forum. You are welcome to do that. So remember, friends, this is the third and the last interaction session. After this, we will not be interacting till your examination is conducted on 30th of this month. Shravani has a question. How to find the center of buoyancy? Center of buoyancy is basically the point where the net buoyancy can be expected to act, just like center of gravity is the point where the net mass force or weight is expected to act. So, to estimate the center of buoyancy, one can actually find the geometric center of the envelope in which you fill the gas. And if you are having some ballooning where you will not be having the gas inside, you have to find the geometric center of the volume that is created. I hope that the airship is axisymmetric, so then you don't have to worry about lateral changes because they will be same. So if you can locate the center of buoyancy by finding out the geometric centroid of the volume occupied by the LTA gas, that itself is the center of buoyancy. That is the easiest answer I can give you to calculate the value of CB. Okay. As no one has mentioned, you have just 15 to 20 minutes remaining to interact with in this session. So it's up to you. Okay. Shravani has another question. How much percentage lift is created because of dynamic lift? So if the question is for conventional airships, the dynamic lift can be of the order of 10 to 15%. But we also have some airships called as the hybrid airships, their dynamic lift can be much larger, 40% or more. So if the lift from non-buoyant sources is 40% or more, generally we refer that airship as a hybrid airship. Okay, Naman is pointing out to me that students should not ask questions from the assignments. You should ask questions which are not from the assignments, because you have to submit the assignment and you are taking advantage of that. You're asking questions to me based on what is there in the assignment, which is not fair. Okay, so we will not be able to answer questions which are in the assignments. Maybe we should take first approval from our TA before the question is answered, because he knows what kind of what kind of questions normally students are asking from the assignment. Okay. So when he says she was not aware of that, it is for your final year project. That's okay. I've already answered the question, so that's not a problem. So friends, we have to wind up very soon. So please ask your queries as soon as possible. Otherwise, we will have to, you must have been watching. I mean, while sitting here and waiting for your questions, I'm actually napping. That should not happen. You should keep me on my toes so that I keep answering your question. If you see me napping, it's because of you, because you're not asking any questions and I'm sitting here idly in an air-conditioned room. So therefore, it's very much possible. And we are constantly working since morning, so we always can do with a little bit of break and rest. If you keep a professor on his toes or her toes, then you will not find them sleeping. But if you make me sit in a place and then don't ask any questions or any queries and don't even allow me to present something, then it is going to be like this only. So come on, guys. I'm sure you have many questions. You have questions regarding your course. Some of them may be related to what you plan to do, where you want to go. Some of you are planning higher studies. Some of you are looking at jobs. We are open and we don't mind questions of any kind, although this session is mainly meant for interaction with the students about the course. But if your discussion forum has been so good, and if the TA is able to answer most of your questions, you don't have to really depend on the faculty. But I'm available in case you have something to discuss or something to share. Prachi has a question, very relevant question. By when can we expect the result? This is something I would request the TA to answer, because he is very much experienced with NPTEL courses. I think Naman, she wants to know about the results of the NPTEL course. So if the exam is held on 30th of April, she would like to know by what date can you get the results of that particular course from NPTEL. Okay, so it takes about a month after the final examination to get the results, which means you can expect the results by end of May. Because the exam is on 30th of April, and if it takes about a month, it will become almost end of May. Okay, I don't think we have to hang on here unnecessarily. If there are no more questions, so the last 1 minute I will give you to ask your queries. If there are no questions in 1 minute, then I'm going to discontinue this session, say goodbye to you, and proceed further. All right, since there are no more questions, I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge the contribution of some people. First of all, I'd like to really thank the NPTEL Studio team at IIT Bombay, who have been very patient with me and who have helped us in recording not only some of the lectures, but also these interaction sessions. Mr. Omkar from NPTEL has continuously monitored these interaction sessions. He's the one who sends out the notifications to you after confirming from us what is the convenient date. And of course, we have a teaching assistant by the name Namanuddin, who has been with us for quite some time, and he has been helping me in conducting this course very efficiently. So thank you, Naman, officially. And with that, I'd like to stop today's session and wish you all the best for the examinations. I hope I'm able to see most of you in person in the 2 events that we are conducting. I hope to see you on 3rd of May and 4th of May for the emerging technologies in aerospace engineering outreach event. And also some of you might be able to come on 20th and 21st of May for witnessing the competition or emergency rapid deflation device. Thank you so much and have a good evening.